Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pig Knuckles and Pickles and Peanut Butter, Popcorn and Pork Rinds podcast.
Wow.
I got it.
Wow, hey, sprinkle. I thought you were going to fuck it all the way up.
Popcorn and Pork Rinds. Hello again.
This is your
co-host and host, Jules.
The struggle is real.
My bladder's full right now.
Is that what it is?
I can't think straight.
She got a pee-pee. She got a pee-pee.
But I can hold it down for
she's going to hold it.
the video.
So, the topic for today is going to be Blerd culture, and is it acceptable now in the black community? Because growing up, it used to be if you're black and you're listening to heavy metal and you're watching anime, beat this nigga up.
I mean, you're weird. What's wrong with you? And I had some of those experiences as well.
Really?
I did.
So I've always been like this, right? And I'm just going to tell a quick little story that is kind of coinciding with the topic. So I was in the car, this big dude, he's in the army. Well, he's not in the army anymore. He used to be in the army. And one day we got into his car. And he said, let's go to Amoeba Records. Amoeba Records is a place that is in the Bay Area. I don't know if they still have it, but it's a place that has records and DVDs and all this other stuff. This was obviously a long time ago. We get in the car, and this man buys a tape. It's David Bowie. And I forgot the name of the song. But it's like Ground Control. Is that the name of the song? Ground Control? David Bowie, Ground Control?
I know the songs, not the
Something
names.
Ground Control. I know somebody out there is going to know. So he's blasting this shit. Mind you, Amoeba is in like Hayward, California.
What color is this guy?
He's black.
Okay.
He's black. Big, burly black dude, infantry, army cat, into just fighting. And he's just that motherfucker, right? And he buys his tape. We get in the car and he's blasting David Bowie, right? Soon as we are about to get into Oakland, California, he goes,
Let me turn that off. Or down. Or
roll
off.
up the windows.
Oh.
Why? Roll up the goddamn windows. I'm rolling up the windows, and now he's like this behind the wheel.
Is the song still playing?
The song is still playing.
Is it the same volume?
He turned it down. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, even you don't feel accepted? Because Oakland is predominantly black.
Was he rolling through the hood?
We drove in through the hood section of Oakland, and he was blasting Bowie, and he was like, I don't want the other black folks on the street that don't even know us to know that he listens to David Bowie. Yeah.
That sounds about right. Not being able to express our true selves in our culture because it went against what our culture is.
Yeah, you only can listen to rap, and
R&B.
you can only listen to gospel, go to a Baptist church.
Yeah. Only wear certain clothes.
Yeah.
Talk a certain way.
Yep.
All of it.
But all these and all the other kids that are not melanated, they're going to school and they're listening to whatever they want to listen to. They're playing whatever card game they want to play, and they're watching whatever cartoon or anime.
Mind you, I do believe that if they were listening to black music, their parents would be like, "Oh my gosh, Johnny, don't you dare!" You know what I mean?
Now you remember what you said in the other videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm just saying, though. I'm saying.
I thought I was the bad one here.
I'm just saying. No, I feel like. Okay, let's just keep talking about what you were doing because I feel like I'm going to dig my hole. Okay.
Dig the hole. Dig the hole. So, anyways, right? So, growing up and during the 90s, where anime started popping, right? And a lot of us were watching it. So I never got made fun of, but I remember a lot of my friends that were black, they got made fun of, like, oh, you're looking at that nerd shit, that dumb crap, why are you watching these stupid ass cartoons? I'm sorry that I'm not watching Boys in the Hood, every single day.
Yeah.
I'm over here watching Goku power up on Planet Namek. I'm waiting for his hair to turn from black to gold. That's what I'm waiting for. The spirit going pow pow with Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm having some real deep insights. I don't even know if I should even say them because
probably
could go on and on. So I'm thinking of course, how we've been conditioned in our own culture through media. Through the what.
So close.
I know.
I'm waiting for it.
Through
I'm ready.
whoever runs this country and is in charge of everything that we see and hear and do, whatever, has definitely indoctrinated us to believe certain things about our culture, our color, all that stuff. So I'm thinking of how stifled the creativity had been in the Black community in terms of self-expression, because all we had to look to as Black people were the hood movies, you know, the hood music that has a lot of negative messages in it. And so where's the creativity of, like, you know, the powers of Goku and like the magic of fantasy and all that stuff? And I was like, maybe their aim and their, you know, purpose was to keep us in a less creative state, keep us from exploring all of who we are, versus just like, no, you're a thug if you're Black, or you're gangbanging if you're Black, or you live this way, you have this much money. Like, you know what I mean?
You can't watch anime. You should be out robbing a store.
Right, exactly.
You know, you can't listen to metal. Those are people picking up instruments and learning something.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Versus just words coming out of your mouth.
Versus a basketball, you know?
Yeah, you know, go play some football, boy.
Oh, man. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, and I think the culture has kind of changed now, because now you're seeing like thug dudes, supposedly thug dudes. We're just going to call it that.
Right.
You know, hoodlums and all these rappers. I forgot who it was. I just saw a video about him saying that Black people shouldn't watch anime and all this other stuff. That's kid shit. And he was really bashing it. I forgot his name. He's a rapper. It wasn't Joe Budden. It was, man, what is his name? I really wish he'd come to me now.
Rapper?
Yeah, he's older now. He's probably like late 40s, early 50s. But
it sounds like something Joe would say.
But the other, I know, right? But the other two guys were like, oh man, I go to bat for Goku, man.
Yeah.
I go to bat for anime. And then they were talking about Finding Nemo. They're like, man, Finding Nemo was a lit movie. Yeah, it took a whole turn. Yeah.
Interesting.
But he
Send
was
me that
sitting
link
there.
later.
I'm going to try to find it. But he was just bashing the whole thing. Matter of fact, I saw it in one of the Blerd groups that I'm in, and they showed the video. And I said, that's all cap. How does he even know about Goku?
Right.
How do you know about this? And he goes, well, sometimes I sit there and watch it with my kids.
Right.
Okay, you probably was gunning for that boy.
Right,
You was
exactly.
like, yeah, power up. You know, Super Saiyan is over 9,000. You know. So has the culture changed where it's more acceptable now? Like if a Black person is listening to heavy metal, like, oh hell yeah, or he's watching anime, or she or he or they or them are doing these things that were no longer or wasn't considered Black, and are you still getting picked on for being into those things as a Black person?
I wonder too, because I feel like the Blerd goes with white culture too, in terms of like how a lot of younger white people dress nowadays and how they speak in terms of, you know, some of the slang, and like everything's blurring together now. So I'm trying to figure out like, when did it become okay for, you know, Blacks?
Yeah.
Like what celebrity?
What changed?
Yeah, like where was that?
Chris Brown has Ninja Scroll. He has a Ninja Scroll tattoo. Ninja Scroll is an anime. It came out in the 90s. He has a Ninja Scroll tattoo of Jubei on his arm. And what is he, 30 now? Something like that?
No, he's 36 or 35.
Yeah, something like that. And so I started seeing this, and a lot of other younger rappers now embrace that. You know, where they're cosplaying or they're getting like an anime tattoo, but I don't know where or when it changed.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So I guess I answered my own question. That is acceptable now.
Yeah, it truly is. For me personally, it wasn't about anime, because I never got into it because I just didn't like how it looked. Like it didn't look appealing. But once I understood that there was some like deep messages and like life lessons and some awesomeness to be learned by watching it, I was like, oh, like I just judged it, you know, like when I was younger. But for me, I listened to all kinds of music. Like I liked the Bollywood stuff, and anything that sounded good, like had a good beat, you know, that I could rock to and like moved me. But I was called weird by a few family members, and I didn't consciously, I don't think that I consciously hid it. And oh man, it's hard to say. I never expressed that side of myself around people. Not that I only had Black friends, though. I had all kinds of colored friends.
Colored friends.
All the colors of the rainbow.
All the colors.
Yeah.
All the colors.
But when I think about it, I never brought out that other side of me that wasn't Black culture. And I'm like, something within me knew that it wouldn't have been acceptable. Like, you're Black. You're supposed to listen to this and be this way. And
all the way growing up, as you see my shirt, I've always been like this, and I'm over 40 years old now, and I've never switched up. I've always been like that, and people are like, man, I respect that. This is when I was living in Oakland, where they're like, man, I feel you've stayed true to yourself. I was like, yeah, these are the things that I got into. I was introduced to them, and then I chose to stick with them no matter what. I never got made fun of because of those things, but other people have. And I was just like, man, that kind of sucks, because a lot of people were missing out on some great things just because it was attached to that.
And one question that I have, not even for you, but just in general, I'm like, where's the negativity in being a nerd? Like, why is being a nerd even something that's frowned upon? Like, what is a nerd? Just because you watch anime? Like, for me, nerd was more so like in the books all the time and wanting to learn and being extra smart. And
isn't that a geek?
So then, like, what is a nerd?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know.
What is a nerd? What is a geek?
Someone, please explain to us in the comments, because
they ain't gonna comment.
Don't put that out there.
It's in the ether.
They will, because they wanna.
Bring it back. Like and subscribe and comment below.
Yeah, it's like all the other folks be saying. Yeah, I just like, what is a nerd and why is it a bad thing to be a nerd?
Well, I don't think it is anymore. At least I think. I'm assuming. A lot of people are into it now, and you can go to Walmart, you can go to Target and buy these shirts, and nobody's batting an eye anymore.
Yeah.
And metal, so many people. So I'm in the Blerd groups, and a lot of them are talking about like what favorite metal band that they're into, and Metallica and all this other stuff, right? And I remember one day I was going to a play, I think, and I was in a Christian private school, and Kill 'Em All came on. Metallica, that was their first album, right? And I was like, what is this? Like, I love this. And then it just disappeared, and I didn't hear anything else until Sandman came out, Enter the Sandman. And I still didn't connect the two, that Kill 'Em All was Metallica, but that generation of the Black Album, Metallica, everybody was listening to Metallica, Sandman, and even before that, it was Trust I Seek and I Find in You, Never Land of Something Blue. Yeah.
You sing it.
And nothing else matters. Yes. So that was just something that was just widely accepted.
Are you saying by everybody?
Everyone.
Okay.
But people are still getting made fun of for being these things, but that was accepted. The Metallica, you listen, but you're not going out and buying the album.
Yeah.
But when it comes on, everybody's singing it. Everybody knows the words.
Yeah.
But when you go buy an album, you better go buy Doggy Style. You better go buy NWA. Right. You better go buy.
That's one thing that I realized too with Black people or Black culture and people in the past is like they would only accept something as a majority if it was like a remix that had like a hip hop or R&B with it or whatever. I was introduced to a lot of rock music and stuff like that when I was married to a white male, and I was introduced to how to cook a steak correctly. Not
white people
overdoing it.
I'm gonna let y'all know. Thank you, because
thank you.
My mother had me burning the shit out of a steak
eating pretty much leather.
Yeah,
leather.
Yeah.
And I was like,
pink.
Why does everyone like steak so much? You can't even chew it.
Yeah,
I was like, what's going on?
Thank you, white folks. thank you for the yes. Namaste. I think that's wrong, but
yeah, I'm like, I don't know what I just said.
Yeah, we are culture appropriating right now. Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Japan. I could do that.
She can't. N-word pass. Can you touch my hair? Videos. So yeah, it was just something it was always a part of me, and I never waned off of pretending to be anything else. I remember I had a system in my car. I was driving through Berkeley, California, and I'm playing Tool as loud as I can. And I remembered until later, and I remember that moment when me and my homeboy was in the car, and he said, "Roll up the window." I said, "Nope." Blasted. Yeah. I'm enjoying myself in my car, listening to the music I like.
Yeah.
Not batting an eye about nobody. And you know what happened a lot of times? I'd be at the stoplight like this, and somebody white drives by, and they look at me. I look at them, look back, and they're like, "Hell yeah!
Yeah,
hell yeah!
Yeah.
I know, right?" And then, yeah. So maybe if you wouldn't have rolled down that window, he would have seen that other people were accepting of it.
Yeah.
But somewhere down the line, someone was like, nope, black people, you need to only go and do this one thing.
Yeah.
While everybody else enjoys everything else.
And I do admire that you have kept true to yourself. You lived in one spot for a while, right?
So what happened with me is I was born and raised in Texas, and I left Texas in 2001. And I moved
how old are you?
I was 19.
But did you stay in the same area from when you were born till 19?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't go anywhere else really. It was Victoria, Refugio, Corpus Christi. And I just stayed in that area until I moved to San Diego, California.
Gotcha.
And then from San Diego, California, I moved to Oakland, California, and this was all within that same year. From 2001 to 2021, I'd only been in the Bay Area.
Right.
Yeah, California.
I was asking that because I think a part of why I have not been authentic to myself most of my life, especially childhood, is because I moved like every 2-3 years. And so when I was in my one area for like maybe 3.5 years, that was when I felt most authentically me, because I had established friends. I was like, I think I left
settled
in 6th grade. Yeah. They accepted me for the things that I did, said, listen to, whatever. And then I moved and was like, all right, like I need a new friend group, and it looks like they like this, so then I was like, I do like that, just a part of me liked it. So then I was like, all right, cool, moved again, this friend group now likes this, so to be a part of whoever,
you're no longer the rock, you're the water, taking on the shape
absolutely
of your surroundings.
Absolutely. And so like shining parts of me that was true to me, but also dimming the other parts of me. And that continued throughout my life. Like I've moved so much, like in the military, and all that stuff. And then after the military, it's just like I'm steadily trying to mold to everything else. And I'm like, I'm tired of that. I was tired. So
I felt that in my soul.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're clay, but you know what? Just stop adding the water and you'll be a solid state.
Right. So that's why I haven't been who I really truly am, my whole life. But it's coming out. It's coming out.
Coming out.
I want the world to know. Yeah, I gotta let it show.
She's a Negro. She's a Negro.
Yeah.
That likes things that aren't Negro-ish.
And I mean, that's not even fair to say, even because we give a culture a particular like genre of music and all that stuff just because like it's developed in that way.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
There's a lot of black metal bands. So many black metal bands. That reminds
me of Jada Pinkett Smith getting so much shit for her metal.
She did metal?
Yeah, she had a band and everything. I mean, people also argue they gave her shit because her stuff sucked.
That's why I gave that face.
I've seen a few things that were okay. I actually like Willow's stuff better than hers, but
Willow's last song was hot.
I heard about it. I hadn't heard it.
It's like when I listen to that song, I feel like I'm off planet.
Really?
Yeah, like I love that song.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yes, please do. God, I had something on the tip of my tongue that I wanted to say, but I can't remember it right now. It was something around the lines of that. Maybe if I just keep talking, it'll come to me.
We was talking about
something of the music. Black metal groups, right? So I played World of Warcraft for a very long time, and my character, who is a Blood Elf Paladin, I'm a Blood Elf Paladin out here.
Whatever that means.
Next time on Popcorn and Pork Rinds, we will school Jewel on what a paladin is.
I know what a paladin is. I don't know what
in the World of Warcraft. Oh, okay. So his name is Sepultura. Sepultura is a band that has black members in it, and I think Black Label Society. I could be wrong because I'm picking through my Rolodex right now, but I do believe Black Label Society is another black band. God, and there's so many black lead singers in metal bands also.
Really?
Yeah. So, God, the list goes on and on and on. So, How do you feel? Do you feel that the culture's changed? It's more acceptable now with
I definitely think, yeah.
All right, good. End of the video.
All right, see you later. Pressure. Yes, that's it.
Under pressure. Yes. That's what we call a black moment.
Yes.
I was about to say circumcised.
Are we done? Because I think we should sign out on that. Okay.
Yeah. Goodbye, people. Peace and hair grease.